Hello YouTube, Fuzzfinger here, and dum dum dum, this is week mode of Final Fantasy XII The Zodiac Age, so I'm nervous about this one. I don't know how far we're going to get, but hey, I thought this would be a fun guide to make, and hopefully you guys are going to enjoy this one. If you don't know what week mode is, it's a version of the game, a difficulty of the game that's been implemented in the Zodiac Age, where all of your characters remain at their starting level. So for example, Varn is now level 1, 26 minutes into the game. He will be level 1, 26 hours, 260 hours into the game as well. And that is true for all of our characters. Levels 1 to 3 are their starting levels, and that is what they will be stuck at. So as you can imagine, this is going to raise its own challenges, and there are tough bosses in the normal version of the game, which become even harder here in week mode. So hopefully I can encourage you to play this along with me. I'm going to do a lot of research before each episode to make sure that we get strategies and tactics down correctly. I'm going to be sharing those with you, and hopefully we're going to get quite far. How far? I've no idea, but until we actually get started, there's no way really of knowing that, is there? So do come and join me, pull up a chair. If you're not playing along, just, put your feet up and probably watch a lot of fail, but I'm sure it'll still be fun. So if you enjoy watching this episode, don't forget to leave a like and be subscribed to the FuzzfingerGaming YouTube channel for more. Okay then guys, so for this particular guide, in terms of job combinations, which are a very, very important selection obviously in terms of strategy here, because that's what we're going to be relying on, I'm going to be using the combinations that Theodrix has provided over in his Reddit post, and the reason for that is they offer a good combination of damage and protection, buffing and healing. And your main source of damage for weak mode is going to be from the machinist jobs, mainly because guns are the only weapon in the game that don't need strength or to do their damage. So just their raw damage output is going to be acceptable even for us at levels 1, 2, 3. That said, I'm going to go more into the job combinations in a later video, especially as we start to get more characters. But for now, since we're just controlling Varn, I should probably point out that Varn's jobs that I'm going to be selecting are Black Mage and White Mage in that order. So at the moment we can only have one job per character until we've completed the Tomb of Wraithwall. So we're going to go ahead to licenses here and just immediately set the Black Mage. Now Black Mage is a good job to use here in weak mode, mainly because oil and fire magic combination produces massive amounts of damage, and that's pretty much what we're going to be relying on. We need to kill enemies fast in this mode because our defences are going to be really, really low. So the longer we're in battle, the more of a struggle things are going to be. And we can just go ahead straight away and learn the Areana armlet, since we get that at the start of the game anyway. And it doesn't matter what job you learn, you'll always have access to that particular accessory. There we go. Now, don't get excited about some of the licenses that you're going to learn, because some are absolutely pointless in weak mode. For example, Battle Laws, which increase the physical damage of your attackers, is utterly pointless in weak mode because it's based on the strength of the character. Magic Laws, on the other hand, are very, very useful for your mages, and they do provide a nice damage increase. So there's a few things like that you're just going to have to be aware of. Focus, for example, is also completely and utterly useless. But then other abilities will provide even more use here in weak mode, and you're going to use them a lot more often. But again, we'll talk about all of that when we come to it. For now, we're just going to head over and take care of the Rogue Tomato, and then we're going to move on to bigger and better things, no doubt. Oh, one thing I should mention as well is that you'll probably want to steal a lot, by the way, for potions and stuff, and for Gil. One thing I'm going to mention as well is that this is not going to be a story walkthrough. Now, of course, we'll be doing the story, but in terms of cutscenes and what have you, we're probably going to be skipping out on a lot of that. And the reason for that is I've already done a walkthrough for this game, which you can find on my channel. So go and check that out if that's what you're interested in. This is really solely to see how weak mode compares to the original version of the Zodiac Age. So I don't expect, obviously, these initial challenges to really be all that challenging. But hey, at least we can get through them and then move on to the harder stuff afterwards. So I'm going to try and steal from this guy now that he's dropped down. Obviously, the actual events of the game are utterly identical. The only difference between weak mode and normal mode is the levels. So you'll definitely want to avoid the dinosaur in the background, as usual, just like we did before. And don't forget you can set up a gambit, not at the moment unfortunately, because we don't have access to them, to set a steel gambit to faux 100% health. Because you do want to steal a lot, and that'll just stop you having to do it manually. And we are going to be heading into trial mode when we're able to. Not immediately, but quite early on.
Galbana lilies?
So that we can go ahead and steal some nice equipment. So again, it's going to skip through the cutscenes. And now we're just going to make our way back to Rabanastre and continue on with the story while we have to. Okay, now that I've handed in the Rogue Tomato Hunt, what I'm going to do is head over to the magic shop, Ugri's Magics, here in Rabanastre. And that means we're going to be able to just go and purchase the fire spell now that we've got the gil from our reward. And I guess we can also buy cure in preparation for when we're going to need that. Since once we've recruited Ash into our party, she's going to be learning the white mage job first of all. So I don't think we're quite going to have enough to learn the actual license yet. But as you can see, fire is one of the first black magics we can get. And it's going to be a nice source of damage as well. Just need 6 more license points. And the next thing I'm just doing is just getting some stuff sorted. So we're just going to head over to the clan hall and kickstart things off with Mont Blanc. And we can't skip this cutscene, sadly. Most you can, some you can't. So this will allow us to start doing elite hunts and whatnot once they become available, although there won't be any at the moment. But hey, it's all basic stuff that we need to get done while we're here. So now we're a member of Clan Centurio. And we'll speak to him again. And he gives us 3 potions on this occasion. But that's all he has to tell us, so we can go ahead and leave this area once we've spoke to Mont Blanc and collected that little reward. Again, this isn't going to be a story walkthrough, so do check out my main walkthrough if you do need help with how to advance the story. But I will give you some brief updates and whatnot just to remind you and put you in the right location. So once you've gone ahead and finished at the clan hall, you want to head to Old Dallon in the Lowtown section, and then you're going to want to head into the Giza Plains. But just make sure you visit the Cartographer's Guild Moogle here and purchase a map for the Giza Plains. They're only 30 gil. So I guess we can also go ahead and purchase the map for, was it Westersand? I missed it. Or Estersand. There we go. And now we're going to go and hopefully get a little bit of license points and learn the fire spell so that we can start doing a little bit more damage than a level 1 dagger is going to allow us to do. I need to head south, not west. Right, so a few license points earned later, we can go ahead now and learn fire. Well, fire and thunder, black magic 1. Although obviously thunder we don't yet have. So we now have our first main source of damage, which is obviously going to come in useful. And these guys take about 4 or 5 hits with the good old weapon, but hopefully fire should have a lot more success. There we go, look. So a nice bit of damage there for Varn early on in the adventure. And you might want to go around the Giza Plains looting some of the chests. You can loot blind from this location as well. Just obviously you're not going to be farming for experience, so just bear that in mind. But you might want to farm for some license points, or you might want to join the trial mode to do that. That's entirely up to you, whatever you prefer. Just don't forget you can't set up gambits at the moment, so things are a little bit more long-winded in terms of taking out enemies and whatnot. Although it won't be long until we can actually do that. So make sure you use the save point. You'll be using save crystals a lot to heal up in weak mode. Okay guys, I do recommend if you can grab enough gil, over 500 gil, which is what it's going to be, that you go ahead here. And obviously don't sell your teleport stones, they're too useful. But you might want to go ahead at this point and just purchase a bangle, since it does have the Libra status. When you equip it, you will need to go ahead and learn the license for it as well, of course, which we don't have at the moment. But it is accessories number 2, so as soon as we get to 20 license points, we can grab that next. And that is probably going to be the next priority. So we'll be getting that in a few moments' time. But for now, we're going to continue on with the story of the Giza Plains here. And it's at this point now that Penelo joins the party. And so we're going to give her first job. And interestingly, Penelo is going to be our main tank in weak mode. So we're going to teach her Shikari. And she's also going to be learning Red Mage a little bit later on. And the reason for this particular combination is because it comes with shield block laws, remedy laws and swiftnesses as well. And she will also be able to cast things like self-decoy, well just decoy but obviously on herself, oil reverse, along with a number of other buffs and debuffs as well. And she'll also be able to cure with Curagar, a little bit later on of course. And not only that, she'll be able to use the Guild Toss ability. And if you've watched my main playthrough, you'll know that Guild Toss is a very strong ability actually, doing up to 10,000 points of damage. So this is why we're going for this particular combination on Penelo. Probably wouldn't do this on the main game, but you know, on weak mode it has its advantages. So we'll go ahead here and learn Shikari, which we're going to learn first, and then Red Mage second. There we go. And we'll just see what she can learn immediately. Okay. Well, we can actually go ahead and give her the bangle accessory, which is probably not a bad idea. And she can also start to learn some HP ups, which is one of the other reasons for giving Penelo this particular job class. She can learn those quite early. And HP bonuses are obviously particularly important, since you won't be getting HP up manually through your levels. Alright then guys. So once we head out of the southwestern exit of the Nomad Village, we can finally turn Gambits on, although we can't adjust Gambits in the main menu, so it'll just basically be an auto attack at this point. And I'm going to control Penelo since she's got Libra. And we're going to head to the east of this particular zone, and the reason for that is we can grab the blind magic while we're around. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time stealing on video because that's going to be a little bit annoying for you guys. But just make sure you do want to steal as much as possible while you're here. And okay, yeah, it seems that they don't even have basic attack gambits. How annoying. So turning gambits on is probably utterly pointless at this stage. And just be careful because some of these enemies do already have buffs and can be quite challenging. But make sure you steal stuff as well, since you are going to want to go ahead and use that to sell at the vendor. And look, Penelo's died already. How wonderful. Alright, so that guy's quite hard. For now, we're just going to head back and heal up at the save crystal. I'm not going to use a Phoenix down there. And just going to take things a little bit more carefully from here on out. But I do want to show you where that blind is. So a couple of fire spells, he's pretty good at taking these guys down. But remember, these are level 5 now and you're level 1. So, yeah. Even at this particular stage in the game, you're already going to notice an increase in difficulty over the main playthrough. Where you probably would have been about level 3 or 4 already by this point. So just keep using that fire spell and then heading back to the save crystal when you need to go ahead and regen your MP or whatever the case may be. But just don't forget that you will reset enemy encounters by heading through multiple zones, but you do generally need to go through 2 zones to actually reset those encounters. We're going to ignore those big looking folks for the time being. And somewhere around here we should be able to find that blind magic, so as I say, may as well grab it now while we can. And I'm not going to steal for the time being, so I do just want to get through this bit. So this alpha one might be a little bit more challenging. Just watch out for Penelo's health, because it does start off very, very low. In fact, getting that plus 70% health for Penelo is probably a good early boost that could really do her well. So as soon as she's got enough license points, which isn't at the moment, we're going to get that. There's blind, so just pick that up while we're here. And grab some of these other chests as well. Gear was obviously useful, but so are potions and Phoenix Downs and other bits that you can find. There's nothing else in terms of gear or anything that can be located around the Giza Plains dry, so don't worry about missing out on anything of that nature. So see if we can take this guy down or at least try and steal something from him. So I'm not going to get my hopes up. I'm going to say that's a no for now. Let's get the heck out of here. Now, we've got the blind magic now, but one thing I do want to try and do, since it's going to really help out, I've noticed we're taking a lot of damage, especially Penelo with her 60 plus health, is just farm the 30 license points that she's going to need in order to learn the first HP lore. So we're just going to head over into trial mode at this point, and just do the first stage a couple of times, since you do get a lot of license points from trial mode, so it'll be a helpful thing for us, I think, just going forward during these initial sections. And you're going to find that when you're doing weak mode, you are going to have to just think of different strategies and that in order to make your way through the game. So just bear in mind that a lot of these enemies are a little bit stronger than their game counterparts. And obviously, because we don't have real gambit set up at the minute, we just need to stay on top of health and things of that magnitude manually. So kill a couple of these, and while we're here, we'll grab the treasure chests as well, including the important diamond armlet. Don't forget, in order to save your progress in trial mode, you do need to head into the stage after the stage that you want to save your stuff from. So we can go around now and see some of the other chests. I think there's one more chest in this place. So we'll just flee here and make our way over to the other side. And there's the second chest containing a potion. It's not particularly exciting, but there you go. So I don't expect us to be able to really do a whole lot with trial mode stage 2 at this point. But if we can just get there, then at least our progress will be saved. And we're now on 21 license points, so doing that first stage once more should be more than sufficient, really, to get us through. So, as I say, I don't expect to be able to take care of this guy. But hey, he might be able to steal something from Thextra. Oh, we've got a tough to Phoenix down. Well, that's not too shabby, is it? Even though we're not going to be able to kill it at this particular point in time. Penelo will be dead in a moment. Oh, maybe we can kill the Alpha Wolf for a little bit more license points. It won't matter though, because we need to actually clear the stage in order to save our progress, which just won't be happening. That said, Varn does seem to have a nice amount of defence. So maybe if we can clear this guy, we'll have a chance. Let's see if we can throw a potion onto Varn here. Nah, too slow. I reckon we could do that, but I'm not going to worry too much. What does matter is that we go ahead and bring that first stage into our game and repeat it. Okay, so I've taught her the HP plus 70 ability. You never know now, we might even take care of this particular trial stage. But let's just see how we get on before we get too excited. So we're just going to go ahead and once again take out the lower level guys first. And it's annoying having to do things manually. But there you go. I'm just going to see what Penelo comes with. She comes with Cure, which is useful. But obviously it does have a cast time, which you have to deal with. So we need to take care of the wolf first. Oh, that was nasty. What did we get hit with? Was it 1,000 needles, or was that stage 3? There is a cactuar that comes up in one of these stages, early ones, but I think it's stage 3, quite frankly. So I was hoping we'd be able to get rid of the first wolf, but obviously not. So let's try and just... Oh, right, it's dead now. Right, let's get Varn healed up. As quickly as possible, really. And also Penel. And then we'll go straight on with taking down these other guys here. Okay, so Penel is tanking already, which is interesting, since she is effectively going to be the tank eventually, but not at this particular stage. At least that's not the plan. So before we take out the last guy, if we're going to be able to do this, of course, I'm going to see if we can also go ahead and perhaps grab a couple of the things from the chests around here. That would also be pretty nice if we could do that. So as long as we can stay on top of healing, this is good practice, this is, for some of the challenges that are going to lie ahead, isn't it? Thextra can be a bit of a tough guy. Okay, there goes the next one. And then Varn, if you want to have a go at maybe stealing, maybe for another Phoenix down to replace the one that we used a moment ago. Yeah, thank you very much. And we've still got some MP, so let's stay nicely cured up here. And I'm just going to look around for some of those chests. And we can even loot them with the bangle on now, but I think, can we? Oh, we need licenses 3. Accessories 3, sorry. Which requires another 25 license points. I don't think we've quite got that yet, have we? So, okay, we can't loot it with the bangle on at the moment, or the diamond arm on it. So we'll just grab the basic stuff here. Yeah, I want to be careful about going down, because there is another enemy down here that's going to be a lot more challenging for us than we can really face at this moment in time. So let's just look at taking down Thextra for now, and getting this brought across into our main game. So hey, at least hopefully we'll have taken down Trial Mode Stage 2. Yeah, you can go for a cure for now. And then we'll stick to some standard attacks, I think. As we finish this guy off. There we go. And now we're just going to go ahead and lose this battle. Or we could quit, it doesn't make any difference. Either way, we're going to be loading up back into the main game to bring that stuff over. And I'll tell you what, guys, I think we'll go ahead and leave things off at this point. So we'll pick up with weak mode in the next episode. And hopefully our characters are now a little bit more prepared than they were a few minutes ago. Thanks to a couple of licenses we've learned and so forth. So thanks for stopping by today. Let me know in the comment section if you two are going to be playing along with weak mode. Just for a bit of fun, see how far you can get. And hopefully, you never know, we might surprise ourselves. Thanks for stopping by, guys. See you soon.